achieve? How many of you want to become doctors? How many of you, young people, how many of you want to become doctors? Okay. How many of you want to become engineers and scientists? Engineers, scientists. How many of you want to become teachers? Teacher this side. Teacher, more teacher, okay. Good teacher. You should be a good teachers. And then, how many of you want to become bureaucrats, IAS, IPS officers? Oh, very good, very good. How many of you want to become agriculture farmer, innovative farmer? Innovative farmer. Innovative farmer. Okay. Okay. How many of you want to become political leader? Good political leader. Now, I am going to do some exercise, okay? I am to for one lady, I am going to take this side. One fellow, I want to take this side. Both of them want to become political leader. What they will do? That you will get up, madam? You got up. You showed your hand. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. 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 As a political leader, when you become, what will you do, madam? Mic, give the mic to her. Or you shout.
Sit.
Take the mic.
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
What, sir?
What will you do if you become a political leader?
ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಕೈಯಿಂದ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾನ ಮಾದರಿ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಯನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, we have got one leader now. We have got one leader to remove the corruption. This side, this side. Yes. Yes.
Sit.
Yes, yes.
Hello. Good morning, sir. I am Manjunatha from Time English Training Academy. If I were the Prime Minister, if I were the politician.
If you are a political leader, okay.
Yes. If I were.
You say, if you are a political leader.
If I were the political leader, the first thing what I would do is, first I'll make all the youngsters to get and follow the rules and regulation, follow the words of yours.
Discipline.
Discipline. And not only by words, I make sure that every my subordinates or youngsters should follow and they should dedicate to the Indians. Thank you.
Definitely, it is the discipline of the nation. For that, leaders should be disciplined, isn't it? That is, you have to be disciplined. That's very important. One is corruption, another is disciplined nation. So, with these friends, the inputs say, how many of you want to go walk in Mars and Moon? Mars and Moon, how many of you want to walk in Mars and Moon? How many of you want to walk or stay there for some time? Okay. Okay. Some of you, I will meet you there by 2030. Okay? 2030. At that time, I will be exactly 100. Okay? 100 years old. So, friends, now you told me, some of you want to work in the astronaut, some of you want to become astronauts, some of you want to be great teachers, some of you want to become great political leader, some of you want to be engineers and scientists, some of you want to become doctors, and some of you even spiritual human beings. All these things possible. That means you have to have an aim in life. Once, as I said, having an aim in life before 20 years of age, acquiring the knowledge continuously, and hard work towards the aim and perseverance defeat the problem succeed. In this connection, let me recall this, how to achieve the aim. 13th century, one poem I came across. Will you repeat with me? Young fellows, will you repeat with me? Young girls and boys should repeat, okay? Name of the poem, Wings to Fly. Wings to Fly. I am born with potential. I am born with goodness and trust. I am born with ideas and dreams. I am born with greatness. I am born with wings. I am not meant for crawling. I am not meant for crawling. So, I don't. I have wings. I will learn to use them to fly. You will fly? Okay, good luck for all of you. So, my friends, my message to you, young friends, is that education gives you wings to fly. Achievement comes out of the fire in our subconscious mind that I will win. That confidence you must have, I will win. So each one of you assembled here and elsewhere will have wings of fire. The wings of fire will indeed lead to knowledge, which will make you to fly as a doctor, or engineer, or a scientist, or a spiritual leader, or a teacher, or a political leader, or a bureaucrat, or a diplomat, or you would like to walk on the moon and Mars, or anything you want to be. I would like to assert that no youth today need to fear about the future. No youth today need to fear about the future. How? The ignited mind of the youth is the most powerful resource on the earth, above the earth, and under the earth. So friends, now when you all graduate, when you go out of the campus after 17 years plus another 4 years, 21 years of educational campus, when you go, what type of India you are going to see? Another 9 years' time, India has to become an economically developed nation. What type of India? So I have visualized a distinct profile of the nation. A nation where the rural and urban divide has reduced to a thin line. A nation where there is an equitable distribution and adequate access to energy and quality water. A nation where agriculture, industry, and service sector work together in symphony. A nation where education with value system is not denied to any meritorious candidates because of societal or economic discrimination. A nation which is the best destination for the most talented scholars, scientists, and investors. A nation where the best of healthcare is available to all. A nation where the governance is responsive, transparent, and corruption free. A nation where poverty has been totally eradicated, illiteracy removed, and crimes against women and children are absent, and none in the society feels alienated. A nation that is prosperous, healthy, secure, devoid of terrorism, peaceful, happy, and continues with a sustainable growth path. Finally, a nation that is one of the best places to live in and is proud of its leadership, Now, it's all beautiful thing I said. Now, how do you achieve that? To achieve that distinctive profile, the 10 pillars, each one of you, finally you have to do. To achieve the distinct profile of India, we have the mission of transforming India into a developed nation. We have identified 5 areas where India has a core competence for integrated action. Agriculture, agro-food processing. Education, healthcare. The infrastructure like electricity and transport. And then the self-reliance and critical technologies. These 5 areas are closely interrelated, including health and education. These 5 areas are closely interrelated and progressing in coordinate way, leading to food, economic, and national security. Dear students, every one of you, think of yourself, your career, whether it is in science, engineering, healthcare, agriculture, literature, humanities, administration, business, management, social entrepreneurship, politics, law and executive, whatever field that you choose, you have a responsibility to contribute, and you can always say, think and act on the one thing. What is that one thing? That is what the Spirit, what can I give? Under any circumstance, if every one of you acquire the quality of saying, what can I give, then you have arrived. We have arrived. India has arrived by 2020. Friends, what can I give? What can I give? What can I give? You don't need money for that. What can I give? Remember today, I want to tell all the young fellows and experienced fellows, you don't need money. What I can give? I can give, just go to Belgaum, 30 kilometers you walk, or take a two-wheeler, four-wheeler. There are villages. There are people. They cannot read and write. Each one of you, catch hold of 5. In a month's time, you tell them how to read and write. It's in your hand. You don't need money for that. Is it not? Is it not? Yes or no? You will do it. Second, what you have done, you are assisting the learning process, the education process. Then you go, you remember by photosynthesis process, each tree, mature tree, absorbs 24 kilogram of carbon dioxide in a year, and it releases 10 kilogram of oxygen. Every tree. You plant 5 trees in your home, or in a campus of the school or college, or any place, the social places, and you are improving the environment. First thing, without money, you are giving education. Second thing, without money, you are improving the environment, beautiful environment. Third thing, Belgaum, the number of hospitals are there. Throughout the country, district hospitals are there. Go there evening at 6:30. Belgaum Hospital, go and see that, 6:30. 6:30, lot of visitors are there. Hundreds of visitors to see their patient relatives. 6:30, everybody enters. All the patient, all the relatives of the patient, friends of the patient, near the beds, hospital beds. But if you see, if you are having observation mind, there are few beds, nobody goes. Nobody goes. There are elderly people, and no support for them. And for them, you carry a flower, carry fruit, give them. Okay? Give them. So all these three things, you can definitely without money you can do. Okay? Repeat with me, what can I give? Repeat with me, what can I give? What can I give? What can I give? All the happiness will come if you give. Okay? Without money you are getting the happiness. Okay? Friends, now in conclusion, now I am going to ask you, finally I would like to ask you, what you would like to be remembered for? What you would like to be remembered? See, you just look at this bulb. Look at this bulb. Look at that bulb. You remember one fellow. Who is that? Who is that? Thomas Alva Edison. Take that phone. Whom do you remember? Graham Bell. Every day you hear the sound of the aircraft. Whom do you remember? Wright brothers. Very smart fellows, you are all smart girls. Now there is one person who traveled in the ship. Okay? If you travel also today, you will see the horizon, sea horizon, the sky, and the sea looks blue. Both of them look blue. One scientist asked why it is blue. One curious mind asked why it's blue. It is scattering of light he discovered by experiment. And he got a Nobel laureate, Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize he got. And then Mahatma Gandhi, for the whole world, he was the 20th century millennium leader. He gave Ahimsa action for freedom movement. And also apartheid system, Ahimsa movement he gave South Africa. So these are all remembered people. So now hear me what I am saying. I would like to ask you, what you would like to be remembered for? Anybody become an engineer, anybody become a doctor, anybody become a teacher. But the question is, what you would like to be remembered for? You write immediately as soon as you go. You have to evolve yourself. and shape your life. You should write it on a page. That page may be a very important page in the book of human history. And you will be remembered for creating that one page in the history of the nation, whether the page of invention, the page of innovation, or the page of discovery, or the page of creating societal change, or a page of removing the poverty, or the page of fighting injustice, or planning and executing mission of networking of rivers. I'll be very happy if you young friends could write this page and mail to me, apj@abdulkalam.com. apj@abdulkalam.com. If you guys good out-of-box ideas, if I see, I will send good books for you for study. So, okay, friends. So, my greetings and best wishes to all of you for the success of for your mission in your life. May God bless you all. Now, I have, you asked, we have interacted. So your question time is not there now. I have to go second function. But one thing I'll assure you, if you send me your question to my mail, apj@abdulkalam.com, in 48 hours, you will get answer for that. Okay? 48, you will get answer for that. Then regarding the autograph, some of you want autograph. Okay, I know. Now you send a same mail, apj@abdulkalam.com, you will give autograph and photograph. Okay. Raghavesh, Swamiji, for your ashram, I have brought some books to give to you. For your library. For your library.
These are 5 people who have touched the soul of India. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Rabindranath Tagore, Amar Shonar Bangla. The 4th we gave was that of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And the fifth was Madurai Shanmugavadiva Subbalakshmi, MS Subbalakshmi. I want to quickly sum up 3 of the wonderful statements that came out of the depth of intuition and inspiration and research of children about our illustrious ex-president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Statement number 1, there was a girl who came out with a very beautiful observation about his life when she said, his success is because, despite being a tremendously intelligent personality, his head never fell in the way of his heart. The second statement, and if you really look at this statement, his head never fell in the way of the heart. I want to invite your attention to what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna spoke about Swami Vivekananda when he said, all the kalas he has mastered, all the scriptures he knows, versatile, multitudinous when it comes to matters of endowments and attributes. But there is one line that Bhagavan Ramakrishna spoke about Vivekananda. He said, Naren thinks so little about himself, a man steeped in simplicity. And one day, Naren will shake the world to its foundations. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was able to shake India to its foundations because of this self-effacing simplicity. The second statement that I heard, this came from a student of Bharati Vidya Bhavan, one of the schools of Bharati Vidya Bhavan. She said one beautiful line. She said, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's life, we all talk about giving different things to the world and we talk about doing different deeds. She said, how many of us can say with conviction and depth, my life has been an offering. Dr. Kalam's life has been an offering for the spiritual regeneration of India. And the third and last statement, there is so much of beauty in that particular statement because they say that, there are lots and lots of people who look at what is it that I want to become in life. But there are very few people who look at what is it that I can give to life. You know, I will give you one example and conclude my speech. I went to one of the tribal villages of India, and as Sir rightly said here, you know, this country would benefit immensely from the depth of wisdom of primary school teachers. I was very fortunate to see a primary school teacher who works in what is called an Eka Adhyapaka Vidyalayam in one of the poorest hamlets of India, where a lion's share of children eat one meal a day, and they have to wait for 16 and a half hours after the meal that they take at 7 o'clock at night to get the next meal, which they get in the form of what we call in Kerala as kanyi, you know, rice with water. So when I went to that particular school, it was a very difficult terrain, inhospitable. But when I went to that school, I was so touched when I found 37 children and one teacher on a Sunday morning. And this tribal teacher, I asked her a simple question. As somebody who teaches organization development at Indian Institute of Management, Human Resources, I was very eager to know what brings this teacher on a Sunday morning to a tribal village, despite the fact that her salary is a paltry, measly 1,850 rupees. You know what this teacher told me? I will not forget this for the rest of my life. You should not, because Dr. Kalam has exhorted us, go to the villages of India. Go to those places where your presence itself will be an inspiration. You know what this tribal teacher told me? She said, I have to take 2 buses in the morning, cross a stream, wade my way through the forest to reach this particular school. My salary in the last 8 years has not crossed 2,000 rupees. But she said, you know what, when I come in the morning, I open the door and I get in. These poor tribal children will come and start pulling the sari tip and say, teacher, 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 can you please make that kanyi that you make in the afternoon? We'll take the liquid portion now and the solid portion in the afternoon, because 16 hours we have not had a meal, we are fainting. And this teacher said, you know what? Countless number of times I've had the embarrassment of looking at those children and telling them, my dear children, the supply of rice will come only tomorrow. Your teacher doesn't have anything to give you. And you know what is their answer? Their answer is what Dr. Kalam was trying to tell us. Their answer is, that is okay, teacher. We understand your limitation. No bad word.